Welcome back. YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Dave Collins. And let's get into the National League. We talked about the American League in the first segment, getting into the National League and quickly recapping Game 4. Clayton Kershaw, he looked pretty good last night, but didn't quite get the results that he was looking for. The team won, but his pitching line wasn't great.
No, and I was sitting on the couch with one of my friends. It was great that this game was played in the late afternoon or early evening for us East Coast fans. When Kershaw battled against Bryce Harper, I looked at my friend and said, this is two money bags going at each other right now. Bryce Harper, the way he's getting paid, and Kershaw. And I would call it a stalemate because he walked Harper and, you know,
after
then he
got
after a very tough at bat where, and I'll give credit to the Fox Sports 1 announcers, they were silent for most of it. They just let the drama in Dodger Stadium play out. That's something that I love as a sports fan. And he walked. Kershaw got taken out of the game. Dodgers and Nationals. If some of you are watching this on the tape delay, you're going to know the results. But this is a series that's going to be played back, and people are going to remember about in about 5 or 6 years. I think it's a pick'em game, especially since this game is going to be in Washington on Thursday night, starting just after 8 o'clock.
Yeah, here's a question I have, and I don't disagree with the move. They won the game, so we don't want to go back and second guess. But here's the problem: you had Kershaw on 3 days rest.
That's right.
Didn't really work out well, so we had to use the bullpen, and they blew it. Luckily, the Dodgers came back. But now you've got Rich Hill on 3 days rest. You have to win 2 games. So would you have rather used the rookie Urias in game 4, Urias, and try and patch something together? Then you have Kershaw on full rest. But now Kershaw didn't pitch well on 3 days rest, and he's a stud. How can we expect Hill to go on the road and pitch on 3 days rest? I really don't give them much of a shot, but baseball's funny, as we've seen before.
Yeah, and let's talk about the other pitcher for the Nationals, Max Scherzer, 20-7. This season, an ERA of 2.96, and he's going to be ready to go down in Washington, D.C. This is a game, if you're a baseball fan and you're relicking for the old days, the 70s and 80s, this right now, this National League Divisional Series, this is a game that you have to watch. Of course, watch us first, but watch this game coming up on Thursday night just after 8 o'clock because it's going to be one of the great series, and whoever wins takes on the Cubs, and you know that those fans, after the Cubs came back the other night, 4 runs in the 9th inning, the people at Wrigley Field have been dying for this for years because they finally see all the pieces coming together, I think.
And exactly the way that it happened last night was with the Cubs down 3 runs, as you mentioned. Now, quickly before we get to that Cubs, you will notice behind Dave in the background, in the backdrop, the nice New York Mets jersey. So thank you for sending that in. Hey, made the playoffs 2 years in a row.
I like how you say just nice about it. It is. It's nice.
Yeah, what are we going to do?
We're asking for your memorabilia. sportstalk@ycnnow.com. We'll come and pick it up.
I feel bad for the Mets fans.
That jersey belongs to my buddy Joey T. It is signed right there by Carlos Beltran, who no longer plays for the Mets. The Mets no longer playing. But wait, we're looking for anything to add to this wall behind us. So come and give it to us.
Okay, so getting into that Cubs series, big comeback, I think a stat of something like 3 wins in all of postseason baseball when trailing by 3 in the bottom of the 9th. This team is coming alive. Jake Arrieta, they lost the game, but Jake Arrieta hitting the big home run off Madison Bumgarner, and he kind of looked a little bit human in Game 2. Everyone was saying, or Game 3, everyone was saying Bumgarner is postseason magic. Giants won the game, but he looked human. Giants even year. We can put that to rest now. Is it the Cubs' year finally?
I think it's the Cubs and the Indians in the World Series. I think I said that a couple of weeks ago when the first playoffs started. But I think the Cubs are going to have a tough time with the Dodgers, especially if everybody can get healthy again for the Dodgers. This is a brutal series against the Nationals right now. If they've got a couple of their pitchers, if they've got a couple of games to recover, I really like the Cubs' chances. But again, I think it's going to be a long series.
Right, and I see the Nationals coming into this series because I think Max Scherzer will be the better pitcher. He did stumble out of the gate when he had Game 1, that matchup against Kershaw. It kind of fizzled. It wasn't exactly what we were hoping for, but I think Scherzer wins it. But then that's the problem. Now Scherzer just finished the series. He's not going to be able to come back until Game 2 or 3. I don't know the setup of the... they played Game 1 on Saturday, so Game 2 would be Sunday, and the game's on Thursday, so he really can't come back until Game 3.
And if you watch
that's the problem.
If you watched this 2 weeks ago, I said, look at how these rain delays and these rainouts sort of make everything up, and that's what sort of helped out, I guess, the Dodgers
They could bring Kershaw back on 3 days rest, and it could have played a factor in the Red Sox series as well with that rainout in Game 3, but didn't really come to fruition there. So you got the Cubs and the Indians. I think I'm going to agree with you. I think the Cubs are just too good, and the Indians, like I said in that last segment with the bullpen, is just really coming together. So that's going to be our World Series predictions. Wonder if they'll be any better than our football ones, which we will talk about when we come back. We finally got the Patriots right.
Yeah.
But not much else after that. We're going to talk about that when we come back. You're watching YCN Sports Talk.